So let's get right to the fixtures for this week. We start with Manchester City, one of the biggest matches, obviously not the biggest, but one of the biggest and most significant match of the week. Manchester City versus Newcastle United. City are currently second in the league. Newcastle have suffered one of the worst run of forms, in their last 6 games. From a team who looked like they were going to battle for the league, their last 6 games, they've just scored three. They've been winless in the last 4 games. And City are now beginning to get something sort of consistency. Dami, let me start with you. How confident are you going into this match? Considering the first tie ended up 3-3.
The first tie was a bit like open, like it was like end to end. So I think Pep will have learned his lesson from that, and he will prioritize more control in this game and make it less end to end. And also, Lucas's poor run of form doesn't indicate that they're willing to attack like they did in the first match. They're looking to keep it close also. So it's going to be a tight game by CCT edging it out by 2 goals to 0.
Okay. Let's go. Let me go to Uche. Uche, okay, sorry, let me go to Benro. The last Newcastle game was actually a loss in the Carabao Cup final. Do you see Manchester City taking advantage of this poor form, especially in this game?
Yes, I believe Manchester City should dominate and take the 3 points. It won't be easy though, because Newcastle have this fighting spirit that they always bring every time they play them. But at the end of the day, I think with the player caliber players must be have to be able to see it through. So yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, let me come back to Dami again. In terms of starting lineup, right? We've seen there's been multiple calls for Julian Alvarez to start because it looks like Ireland has been struggling. And although he scored a goal in the reverse fixture, and Alvarez actually had the brace and had an assist against Bristol. Do you see any major changes to the starting 11, considering people like De Bruyne actually started and played the full 90 against that Bristol City?
Let me say the last game where Alvarez started, the only reason why he started that game was because Kevin De Bruyne was ill, like he was not feeling good, like Pep Guardiola said in his press conference. That was the reason why he started. I believe Kevin De Bruyne is fully fit now, as we saw yesterday. Played 90 minutes, and also Alvarez also played 90 minutes in that game. So I don't see any way he's going to start over Kevin De Bruyne. And I also think Phil Foden is on a good run of form, and I see him replacing Riyad Mahrez on the right for that game. Apart from that, I don't really see any major changes.
And in the defense, Rico Lewis or Kyle Walker?
You know, I always go with Kyle Walker. He's more stable than Rico Lewis.
Okay.
Although he's best favorite, but no.
Let me go over to Yemi. Do you think this might just be too much a fixture for Newcastle playing Liverpool in the league where they lost 2-0, having their goalkeeper out, now going to play United in the cup, now playing Manchester City that we know are fighting for the league? Do you think this might just be too much for them as a young team that are aspiring to do well? Or what do you think?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it's too much. First of all, like me as an Arsenal fan watching the Carabao Cup final, it was a game I wanted both teams to lose because mind you, for obvious reasons, But Newcastle too is like they're a team that have spent money, that have shown they have money and are now coming up. And imagine what winning a trophy would do for that team, the confidence. So I don't want them to do that as well. And it kind of shows now, losing to United, losing to Liverpool, the way they did. I feel like it's now like a reality check for them. Like, oh, we thought we were like, among the big boys, but we are not. And it kind of like brings them to their level. And I feel that will affect their confidence. I don't see them getting anything against Man City, especially now Man City is chasing the title. We know how little Man City can be these last few months. Like, I don't think they will slip up against a side like Newcastle. I don't think so.
Okay. Uche, finally, let's take Uche before we take Mayowa. City's
Okay.
problem this season has not been goal scoring. If you look at it, they've scored 64 goals in 25 games. The closest to them are actually Arsenal. And also the defense also is not really that terrible, considering 25 goals. What do you think? See, because now as much as everyone say, okay, Newcastle are in poor run of form, that was the same thing with Nottingham Forest also, and City still went there and actually dropped points. So what do you think? Do you think we can see something like that also again, where City would be in a match where everyone expects them to win? It's at the Etihad, and they will drop points again against a poor Newcastle side.
Oh, okay. First of all, I think for this game, I think from a Newcastle coach's perspective, from the Newcastle coach's perspective, I think it's about limiting the amount of chances City can get because hurting City is something I don't see Newcastle doing. Right. First of all, like Yemi said, I think they've been knocked down a couple of notches. I saw some of their fans online, screaming that they've broken into the big league. Those boys. I think they've been brought back down to earth. And going into this game, first of all, Newcastle can't win, in my opinion. They cannot win. I don't think City will drop points in this game. And like the previous speaker said, City just tend to come alive the second half of the season. It's their thing. It's just their thing. I don't know how they do it, but they just tend to come alive, right? But we're not going to forget that this is a Newcastle side that went, I think, 10 or 11 clean sheets, right? And they played the Carabao, and they played the Carabao final without their first choice goalkeeper, right? So that losing an important player like that could bring a bit of unease to the defense, and that could transmit to the whole team. So what I think is, I think they might start a 3-match ban. I think for the red. Not sure if they would have Pope back, right? But if they do, then I expect them to be resolute in defense and try to limit the amount of chances City get. But if they don't, I still expect them to be resolute in defense. But City will win the game. I have no doubt in my mind that City get the W.
Okay. Nick Pope will be missing this game, but my personal problem is just I think the intensity is just where the problem is going to be for City. They really don't like people running at them like that. So I'm hoping for a wonderful match. Obviously, I think City would need to. Newcastle have been really terrible in the last couple of games. They've been terrible. It's like it's not working again.
Very true.
The Joelinton is not working. Their right back, Karen Trippier, is not creating as much chances. And mind you, he's one of the best creators in the league, and it's just not working. Isak is coming back from injury. He's not really shown that big, huge price tag. So I really don't know. I'm going to sit on the fence, and I would hope that City could actually just get the victory first before the performance. Mayowa, what do you see this game ending in? Let's start predictions with you.
2-1.
2-1 Man City or 2-1 Newcastle?
2-1 Man City.
Benro, let's have you.
3-1. 3-1 City.
Thank you. Chike.
Alan to score.
3-2 City.
3-2 City. Newcastle hasn't scored so much in the last couple of games. You guys are giving them 2 goals. Uche.
3-1. I think City have struggled to keep clean sheets recently. I think City would win. 3 could be 4, but 3-1. But I think they'll concede. I think City will concede.
Yemi.
I'm going with 2-0. I don't see Newcastle scoring, and City will definitely beat them. So 2-0.
And Dami gave us your prediction. Can you give us again now?
2-0. I see City losing by 2-0. Because Newcastle, they don't look like they have they know where they can score is on the counter. And City will try and limit that to as much as they've seen like 1 or 2 chances in the game. So City will win by 2-0.
Okay, let me go the opposite route. I think the match will end 1-1 Man City and Newcastle. I'm not being modest, but I think it might just end 1-1.